Hey, welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me, as always. We are doing it like it's supposed to be done, as always. We like the mail. We always deliver. We're stuck in the airport right now, on our way to Las Vegas, getting ready for the big fight going down this weekend. Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. Oh, it's Cinco de Mayo, and I love Cinco de Mayo. But the fight is going to be a spectacle, and I cannot wait to see if this fight delivers, as always, in Vegas from the T-Mobile Arena. Brett, before we even get started, how you feel, man? I'm just moving along. How you feel?
Book, I'm all right. Look, we're stuck here in the airport. Let's actually walk the people through it just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because we started our day off. We arrived at your residence at around 10 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Got here around 11:15. Got the news on the way. The flight was delayed. We said, okay, you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. We can get by it, right? We can kill it out. Get a little lunch in, and then we get a little lunch in, and we end up changing our flight because we're like, look. This one got delayed to 4:30. Let's get the earlier one, 2:20, boom. Well, no good deed goes unpunished. We're waiting around for that one. And then, there's one plane that's sitting there. We think it's our plane. It ends up not being our plane. It's someone else's plane that got canceled while they were on the plane.
Yeah.
And then one of the great moments of comedy in the history of all time, you see all these people getting off the flight. And just one little kid looks so sad. And he looks to somebody.
Look at that kid.
You're like, look at that kid. And then they look so sad. And then another kid comes right behind it and goes, are we ever going to go home? And then what did his parental figure say, or sister, whomever that was? There was an adult holding his hand. And he says, are we ever going to go home? And she says,
not today, bro.
And it was a light point of comedy for us. You know what I mean?
Not today, but the bro part. Definitely said. I was like, she got to be a worker. She got to be a worker.
Not today, brother.
She must be married to one of the boys or sister or something like that. But it was so funny, man. But no, man, it seems like every time we are getting ready for a big fight out in Vegas, we come to the airport, and there's always something. Today, we got to the airport, and it was literally straight up. It was a blizzard. It was something that I had never seen before.
It was bad, man.
Here in Houston, the water was like crazy. The Uber driver, he was like a soldier. I get it, brother. I'm gonna make sure I give him 5 stars and an extra big tip for getting us in there. I haven't put it in yet. I always wait a week.
Just to make sure you're still feeling the same.
Just to make sure I'm still feeling the same way about it. But no, man, I cannot wait. We are gonna get to Vegas. We are coming to you live from New York hotel and casino this week. Make sure we get that prop in, most definitely. And I tell you, there again, this fight. Is highly anticipated. Canelo Alvarez, of course, Munguia's fighter that's undefeated, taking on Canelo Alvarez, who's pretty much relatively undefeated. He's lost a couple of fights. Maybe should have lost even maybe 1 or 2 more.
I agree.
On that record, but
especially with those Triple G fights.
No, but yeah, exactly. But as far as being the quintessential, right now the greatest Mexican fighter out there, and the guy that's at the top of the card is Canelo Alvarez taking on Jaime Munguia. A lot of people are talking about perhaps David Benavidez should be in the picture. David Benavidez has been calling Canelo Alvarez out for quite some time, as well as Charlo has been calling Canelo Alvarez.
Oh, yeah, I thought we were supposed to have that fight.
No, but that's the beauty of being that top guy. Everything goes through you. As far as if it's going to be a fight being made, I'm going to make sure I make it, and I'm going to be the A side no matter what. And that's what Canelo is doing right now. Taking this fight against Jaime Munguia, people might think this is a safe bet for Canelo Alvarez. But me personally, I'm like this here. If you got over 40 fights and you undefeated, for me, I talk about that cloak of invincibility. I always talk about, having that championship pedigree as far as, being, 30% better when you are in that position. Now, Canelo Don't take nothing away from him. He's been there with the best. He's fought the best, and he's beat the best. But at any given Sunday, what's the odds on this fight? What's the odds?
So last I checked, Jaime Munguia was the underdog at plus 350. Canelo was a strong favorite.
Plus 350. I got to get some of that money. I got to get in on some of that money. Plus 350.
So, I mean, I know I asked you this earlier when we were having lunch, and you said it was hard for you to make a specific determination. But, like, right now, how do you see this fight? Because you're normally like the magician when it comes to fight predictions. You normally can figure it out. You normally see angles other people don't do. It's like it's moving in slow motion.
Yeah,
How do you see this fight playing out? If you had to say right now, if you had to put a guess on it.
It's hard to beat Canelo Alvarez because he's a counterpuncher. I think Canelo Alvarez learned the most in the one loss he had against Floyd Mayweather when he was a young kid. I thought that experience that Canelo got in that fight, it was like, nothing that any school could have ever taught him, nothing that any boxing trainer could have ever taught him, just because being in there with Floyd, up close and personal, he got a chance to see the master magician do his work on him. I got a chance to watch that fight. We was at a bar and I can't remember where we were, man. But
You talking about Floyd and Canelo?
Yeah,
okay.
Floyd and Canelo got a chance to watch that fight. I remember vividly the spot. It was a little spot, literally right outside the hotel. Little walk down the street. It was, and we were kind of like, I don't know why, but we were kind of like in the hood. And it was a spot where it was nothing but brothers. You walk in the front door, and it was literally, they was cooking fried chicken when you walk in, right next to the door. I guess they had to have the wind to make sure. It was crazy. It was nuts, right? So I walk in, and they treated me like a king. They was like, "Book, what not. What you drinking? Book, no, you know what? Don't even worry about it, Book. You can go behind the bar and make your own drinks."
What?
Yeah.
This place that wasn't licensed, was it?
I don't know. But I literally went in and made my own drinks. And then I went and found a nice spot, and I'm watching the fight. And Marty Miller, if you listen, Marty, I love you. The head camera guy in WWE. He came walking in, and he looked shocked because he looked around and he didn't see nothing but the brothers.
He wasn't sure what to do.
From this day forward, I started calling him Rabbit because he was like a rabbit looking from one side to the other, wondering what was going on. And then he looked to the left and he saw me and he goes, "Buck!" And I swear we had so much fun. And then I think I ordered him some fried chicken.
Trying to make him feel comfortable.
Yeah, man. But that night, Floyd Mayweather, he was so great. He was so great against Canelo Alvarez, and I really thought the reason he beat Canelo Alvarez that night was because Canelo was so young. Right. Not that he wasn't a great fighter, not that he wasn't going to become, one of the greatest of all time, but he caught Canelo at the right time. And I'm wondering, could this be the case? Canelo is not a young kid. Munguia is a guy that's on the way up, and I feel like if this kid step up in any way, shape, form, he's going to have a chance at winning this fight. And the odds, definitely always going to sway in the way of Canelo Alvarez, just because he is Canelo Alvarez. But I always say one shot is all it's going to take to change everything in a fight. So I feel like the kid got a good chance.
I mean, it's not like he's a scrub. I mean, he's undefeated. He's undefeated for a reason. He's beat some of the guys that's gone up against Canelo and given Canelo a lot of challenges. There are certain things that he might have on his side where he might lack in the experience factor. I mean, you got to think Canelo's getting Canelo's getting a little bit up there in the age as far as an athlete goes. Not in terms of a regular person.
Yeah.
But as far as an athlete goes, when you have younger versus older, I mean, sometimes that youthful exuberance can win you out, especially when you're going in there with the confidence that somebody like a Jaime Munguia might have.
Yeah, man, but the experience factor is something that always comes into play in the fight game. The experience factor, especially with someone like Canelo, a guy that's looking down to download information. He's looking to, figure out how he can set traps. He's not just going to go in there and fight, on aggression or anything like that. He's a very, very smart fighter. You don't get to the point to where you can call your own shots in the boxing game without being truly one of the best. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how this thing play out. I tell you what, I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to be there for, Cinco de Mayo. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It's going to be a great fight. We got to take a break. Guys, stick around. You are inside the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. The Hall of Fame, this is Booker T, 6-time world champ, along with my man Brad Gilmore, coming to you from the New York Hotel and Casino, getting ready for the big fight going down this weekend. Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. It's going to be on, man. It's going to be on. I cannot wait. The undercard is definitely going to be something I'm looking forward to. Mario Barrios will be in action. I always love
Mario's always fighting when we're there.
I'm serious, man. But he's a good fighter, man.
He is a good fighter.
Yeah, a good fighter. Taking on this kid, what's his name? Fabiano. I can't think of his last name. But I tell you, man, my thing is this. Getting out to Vegas for me for the fights is something that I don't know. The excitement as far as being at the fight game is something a little bit different than being pretty much anywhere else. Love WrestleMania. That's always a spectacle. But it's something about being at the fight game. What do you think it is?
There's an atmosphere and an energy, because the thing about a fight is it makes you watch. You know how they say about right now the NBA playoffs are going, and they're like, hey, you could just watch the last 5 minutes of every game and find out what's going to happen, right? But in a boxing match, you have to watch every round because you do not know when this thing could end. It could end at a moment's notice. Something could happen. Like when we were watching Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu, when the cut happens, the whole dynamic of the fight changes. And there's something appealing and interesting as a sport fan to see, one, how is this going to affect the fight? Two, how is Tim Tszyu going to come back from this? How is he going to change his strategy? Does it change Sebastian Fundora's strategy? So it keeps you engaged the whole time. And I think that's different than any other sport other than MMA. Same kind of feel as to it can happen at a moment's notice. I mean, we saw at UFC 300, just to go to MMA for a second, UFC 300 at the last second of the BMF title fight, the whole thing changed. Boom, down for the count. Yeah. Max Holloway gets it done. So I think that's the appeal.
He was going to lose the fight anyway.
Huh?
He was going to lose anyway, though, right?
Who?
I mean, Max was winning that fight.
Max was winning the fight. Yeah. But I'm saying it can end at a moment's notice.
Yeah. I feel you. I mean, that's what I guess that's the thing with me about boxing. Always went back to the champ, Muhammad Ali, back in the day, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Ken Norton, Sonny Liston, Ron Lyle. All those fights just made me fall in love with the fight game. And Muhammad Ali, the way he did it, the way he showcased it, was definitely something that was beautiful to watch. Canelo Alvarez definitely has done a whole lot for the fight game because there's always that generational Latino that carries the mantle. And for so many years, there's always been somebody to step up. Now it's Canelo Alvarez in that spot. I wouldn't say Canelo has dunked too many guys in the game. You think?
No, he's fought pretty much everybody that we wanted to see him fight. As far as what's going on with this one, I think he's catching them at the right time. But to me, to answer your question, we wanted to see the Triple G fight. We wanted to see that fight. We saw it. We saw it a second time. Now, the results of the Triple G fight, we can debate, but he didn't duck him. He fought him. Floyd, you could say Floyd ducked people. He fought everybody he should have fought, but it's the timing that he fought them at, right? He fought Manny when Manny was a little bit more at the latter points of his career, as you talked about in the last segment. He fought Canelo when Canelo was still coming up in a young state, not fully matured into the fighter that he is today. So I don't think you can say that about Canelo. But here's my question for you about this fight. How much do you think the Oscar de la Hoya effect has on the psyche and the mentality of a Canelo Alvarez? Because we saw the sparks at the press conference that happened at the MGM. We saw Canelo Alvarez call him every name under the sun, him being Oscar de la Hoya. De la Hoya said, put some respect on my MF name, right? Mm-hmm. How much of this do you think is getting in the head of somebody like a Canelo Alvarez? Because he does owe a large part of his career to Oscar De La Hoya, and to feel betrayed by somebody, maybe your emotions are going to be fighting Jaime Munguia, putting all of the things that you don't like about Oscar De La Hoya, channeling them through the body of Jaime Munguia, and maybe that helps you, but maybe it hurts you. Maybe it takes your attention off. Maybe you're not as surgical.
You know, that's the thing with me. When I see guys like just say the Bill Haneys of the world, someone like Oscar De La Hoya doing all the talking.
Right.
And the thing is, he ain't going in and doing the fight. And that's the problem right there. You saw what happened with Devin. Everyone, I think, got beat up pretty bad by Ryan Garcia, even though
there's an asterisk right now.
There's an asterisk right
maybe.
now, perhaps hanging over. Cloud perhaps hanging over. What up, baby? What up? What up? It's a cloud hanging over that fight. But that's where, the fighter could, be in a situation where he didn't really have to be in that situation. Maybe Jaime Munguia is going to be in a much more difficult fight just because of what Oscar De La Hoya went out there and did at the press conference. So for me, if it's the fighter doing the talking, that's one thing. But if it's the manager, if it's his dad, they need to sit their ass on the sideline and watch the fight just like everybody else.
Well, my thing, though, is this, though. I mean, it's not like Oscar doesn't have anything to, he can't say something because, there is real history with him and Canelo Alvarez. To me, it's like if you build somebody up, you give them a shot, you pluck them out of obscurity.
Come on, man.
You put them on the big stage. You build them into being who they are. Canelo.
See, the thing is, Floyd wouldn't have never became, Money Mayweather if he had that mentality and listened to Bob Arum and, stayed under somebody else's thumb and whatnot.
I'm not saying you can't stand up. You have to stay under somebody's thumb. That's not what I'm saying at all.
No, but what I'm saying
I'm saying he's got credibility in what he's saying because...
but the thing is, Oscar De La Hoya...
They both feel betrayed.
No, but think about it. Oscar got a reputation. Everybody in the fight game know about Oscar De La Hoya's reputation. Me personally, I don't know, but I've heard about...
You've heard rumors on the internet.
Yeah, I've heard rumors on the internet about things, the shady dealings and whatnot.
Right.
The promises unkept made by someone like Oscar De La Hoya. But for me personally, I don't know, but I've heard about it. But when you hear fighters like, a Canelo Alvarez, who has made tons of money, especially over these last, 8 years, I think he has the right to speak on it, as far as what kind of person, Oscar really truly is, so.
But it's not, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, they both have a legitimate thing they can air. You know what I mean? But I'm just wondering if this isn't a miscalculation for Canelo to be so charged up by Oscar De La Hoya. Because you think, look, De La Hoya knows what he's doing. He's saying all that to try to get into Canelo's head.
You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to do anything he possibly can to give his fighter an edge. And that edge could turn out to be a double-edged sword that turns against him. Because Canelo, I don't think. Come on, we've watched Canelo fight for quite some time.
Yeah.
I don't think Canelo is going to go in there and divert from the game plan by any means, just because he's an assassin. He's a fighter that goes out and fight from a strategical standpoint. He's not a guy that's just going to go out there flailing punches or anything like that.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's his normal modus of operandi.
Yes.
But if he can get, if he being Oscar De La Hoya can get in the head of Canelo.
That's what I'm saying. But I just don't think Oscar. Oscar just like me. You know what I mean? He had his day. The Edsel was a good car in its day.
Yeah.
I always want to use that one.
Yeah.
That's the situation with Oscar. Oscar do a lot of talking. Of course, he's coming off of a high. Not anything.
Hey, come on, man.
I'm talking about the win with Ryan Garcia.
Oh, okay. Yes. An
So,
emotional high.
He's got a buzz right now. But
so he's feeling himself.
He's feeling himself.
He can talk that talk.
Exactly. So it's been quite some time. Seriously, think about it. It's been quite some time since Oscar really could open his mouth.
Well, the Devin Haney fight Ryan Garcia getting that done definitely put a battery in the back of Golden Boy Promotions.
Exactly
right?
my point. Exactly
Hyped them up.
Right?
Yeah, because prior to that, I'm trying to remember like
it's been a minute since Oscar could open his mouth.
And really, the last fight that was marquee that Ryan Garcia had was against Tank, and he got handled.
That didn't work out too well.
He got handled.
They did a lot of talking too.
Did a lot of talking.
Oscar did a lot of talking for that fight too, didn't he?
He did.
He did. And did it work?
It didn't get in the head of Tank.
Did it work?
It didn't get in the head of Tank. But Tank and Oscar don't have this long relationship. They didn't grow. They didn't grow together. They didn't build together. I'm just wondering because Canelo seemed real hot. Canelo was cussing him out in Spanish and English. That's how you know the man was not feeling him.
Hey man,
you know what I mean?
That's one Mexican I wouldn't want to get hot because it could get hotter than a Mexican plate lunch up in T-Mobile Arena on Saturday night. It's going down, guys. Stick around. We got to take a quick break. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Back inside the Hall of Fame, man, coming to you live from IAH.
Yeah, I was about to say, we can't front where we are.
We definitely represent New York Hotel and Casino.
Absolutely.
Out in Las Vegas, Nevada, getting ready for the big fight going down this weekend, Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. But I want to give a shout out, man. I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite young guys that has made his way to the main roster. Somebody I've got a chance to work with down in NXT. I'm so proud of him. Ilya Dragunov. Man, I'm so proud of that kid. I got a chance to see him on Tuesday. I gave him a big hug and say, man, congrats, man, on all of your hard work, all of the time put in, all of the night study in the game, working on and developing that playbook, the passion that this kid brings to the table. A kid who made me a believer from day one in NXT because I didn't know what he brought to the table. I was like, wow, this guy's so good. To see Ilya Dragunov make it to the main roster, man, I'm so proud of that kid, man, and congratulations on getting ready to make this big run and do it all over again. I'm serious.
Mad Dragon, man. I mean, his run as NXT champion definitely showed us a lot of what he could do at the top position, and now going into Monday Night Raw, same brand as Imperium. People want to see it eventually. Him and Gunther do it on a big stage, main roster style. And I know there's a lot of overseas PLEs, that are going down. And I know there's where's Clash at the Castle this year? I can't remember.
London.
Is it in London?
Yeah.
I mean, look, just in a European setting, right? To have two guys like that, be able to battle it out on a major pay-per-view or PLE, excuse me. I mean, that gets us excited. And then he's not the only one who came up from NXT. You had several NXT.
Kiana James, Dijak,
Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra is another one that's really, really good. I was wondering what was the deal with my girl Roxanne Perez, but I found out there wasn't moving champions.
Champions stayed, yeah.
Champions had to stay at their home base, I guess. Trick Williams, another one. I thought perhaps may get the call up, but did not.
Carmelo officially got the call.
Yeah, I got a little pushback when I ran into Metaphor. They was like, "Well, what's up, man? We didn't get no shout out. On Monday night. What's the deal?" I was like, I was thinking about you guys. I was thinking about you.
I like Metaphor.
No, I love Metaphor, man.
A question: what's in the envelope?
I don't know what's in the envelope. A prenup. Who's the daddy?
I know. I think weren't they chanting like that?
Yeah, I think it was.
And of course, we're talking about Trick and Lash Legend. There was a cliffhanger for Spring Break in week 2.
But now, man, big ups to all the guys who got called up. Congratulations on getting ready to go to work, because that's the only thing you get ready to do. You get ready to go on this major ride, this major journey that only so few get a chance to participate in. You guys are among the elite in this business, so make the best of that ride. Seriously, up to all you guys.
Yeah, as far as the draft goes, there wasn't a lot of shakeup, really. I mean, there weren't a lot of people moving. The people who moved the most were from NXT, and I think that they called up a lot of talent because, to me, that's the best part of the draft. It's not so much like, oh, I get to see Austin Theory on Fridays now instead of Mondays. It's, wow, I get to see people from NXT who I haven't seen them mix it up with people on the main roster, because fresh matchups really nowadays are the name of the game. Since they don't do the old tried and true, have an enhancement talent out there with your top guys on Monday Night Raw, people want to see marquee matches every single week. Yeah. And there's only so many times you can run those back to back to back to back to back and still make them interesting. So when you have fresh blood coming up, like from NXT, that shows why that brand is so important to the future of the WWE. NXT is important for the future of the WWE, you know?
No, I tell you, the development of the developmental system over this last 5 years has produced a lot of talent, man. That's what's really, really cool, because for a while, you didn't see a whole lot of young talent coming out and really moving up like it's happening right now, getting chosen in the draft and stuff like that. So for me, I really think the hard work that's been put in down in NXT with Shawn Michaels and his crew has really stepped it up as far as creating some really, really great talent. That NIL talent that's been stepping up to the next level as well, such as the Tiffany Stratton, who has really skyrocketed over her 2-year existence, 2 to 3 year existence in this business. It goes to show that the system is working. So for me, I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. Doing my thing, having fun, trying to give these guys a little bit of what we call the rub. The rub. Oh yes, man.
Yeah. Let me ask you too, from a pro wrestling perspective, as far as what's been going on lately, has there been anything that you've seen that been like very impressed by on the main roster? Maybe certain people who have stepped it up. Because you know what I really like? I really like A-Town Down Under. Yeah, I like Austin Theory and Grayson Waller and what they're doing together as the tag champs. You know, really giving these guys, young guys, an opportunity to find themselves on television, work together in a team to play off of one another and try to come up.
You know, man, I like that. I like where you're going there. But the one guy, what?
I'm just gonna show you.
The one guy I like. The one guy I like, man, that's been doing some really, really good work is Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. You and Drew, hold on. You and Drew had a bit of a run-in on Monday Night Raw. You know?
Yeah.
A bit of a run-in on Monday Night Raw, didn't you? You know, you were there at the draft. You were there with Kathy Kelly. And you weren't the nicest to him. And he also said something else that I have a question about. But go ahead.
I wouldn't call it a run-in.
It was a run-in.
I wouldn't call it that. What had happened was Drew and I, we go way back. You know, and I don't want to bring anybody's name up that's going to get me in any trouble or anything like that. But Drew is having an issue right now with one CM Punk.
Yes.
And the thing is, Drew wanted to bring me into this war that he's having right now.
Right.
With one CM Punk. And my thing is this. What happened back in the day that Drew was referring to, that's old stuff. We can't be going back in the past, trying to, rehash, old feelings, in situations and whatnot. And the one thing, Brad, you, myself, even CM Punk, people change.
It's true. People do change.
People change.
So you're saying that Drew is holding.
What up, baby?
You're saying that Drew is holding on to old stuff.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. He's holding on to old grudges. Pin up frustration.
But he said that, I know you, Book, you don't like this guy either.
Look here. Like I said, Brad, even I have changed.
You've changed.
Yes, I'm a changed man.
Have you seen the light?
I've seen the light.
You see the cult of personality?
Look, man, look, the thing is, it's not about making friends.
What's it about?
It's about making money. And you may have heard that once or twice.
Somebody said it before. You know what I mean? It's not about making friends. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Exactly my point.
So you're saying Drew should let Punk slide?
You know what? If Drew would have, really just thought about it, himself, the championship, left CM Punk totally out of the equation, he perhaps would still have that gold, that 20 pounds of gold, still strapped around his waist. And I'm just saying, man, I'm not trying to bring no heat, against anything.
You're stirring the pot.
Stirring the pot.
That is what you're doing.
I'm just saying.
Let me see that again.
I don't want to do that or anything with anybody. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, I'm neutral in this situation.
Well, you might be neutral, but you know what? CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre got a lot of steam behind it. Drew re-signed with the company officially.
Big money.
That's what I'm hearing. Big money.
Yeah.
Big money.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. He wasn't going to go anywhere anyway.
That's what he said. He said, "Look, man, I was just fishing. Making sure
that's smart.
Making sure the deal was right.
That's smart.
Making sure the money was on the table and stashed away in the bank.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
But heck yeah, man. Now we got to take another break, man. You're in the Hall of Fame. We're coming from IH right now. Stick around. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Coming to you live from IAH, George Bush International Airport here in Houston, Texas. Representing New York Hotel and Casino. I want to thank New York for accommodating the Hall of Fame podcast. You know it, man.
I'm already in my mind, sleeping in the bed. You know what? I'm going to give people a little bit of game on the Vegas lifestyle. When you get there and you're checking into your hotel reservation, you could always maybe try to finagle a better room.
Yeah. When
you get up to the desk, be like, hey, you might got a little suite for us? You got something there for us?
Yeah, well, what did it cost?
20 a night? 40 a night?
Upgrade.
Okay. So this time, because of the consternation, the headaches, and hassles that we've gone through at George Bush Intercontinental Airport, to no fault of their own, we understand the weather really came through and messed everything up.
Man.
That's God. We're on God's time. But because of that, I'm getting the damn jacuzzi room this time. You know what I mean? I'm sleeping in that thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wake up pruny and all kinds of stuff. I'm sleeping in that hotel.
I'm definitely gonna try to get you one, man. I'm definitely gonna try to. If it's anywhere between the number, I'm getting it. I'm serious because my knees already hurt just from walking around this airport from gate to gate, and we just got delayed a little bit further, guys.
A little bit?
Just got delayed a little bit further to 8 o'clock tonight. Looked like. Hopefully something will happen, though. Sometimes, something might pop off and we get moved up a little bit. So we're going to pray on that. Hopefully you guys help pray on it for us. But back to what's going on in the world of sports and entertainment. We'd be remiss if we didn't speak on the Tony Khan attack, right? We definitely have to talk about the Tony Khan attack and what's been going on a little bit at AEW. I try not to get caught up too much in the AEW situation. Hey, I want to send out a heartfelt, get well soon to my man Will Hobbs. I know you got to have surgery. I'm call Will as soon as we get off the air. I'm call Will, check on him. But he tore something. I think something in his knee.
Oh man!
He's gonna be down for a while. He has to have surgery. And I swear, man, for the last year or so, man, I've just been telling Will, don't get hurt. Don't get hurt.
Don't do it.
But that's the one of the things about the business. It's not a matter of if, but a matter of when.
Right.
Something like that going to happen. So just want to wish a speedy recovery to my man Will Hobbs. But as far as Tony Khan and AEW, I'm like Cody Rhodes. What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about, guy? Well, here's my thing. Tony, they did an angle with him and Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, trying to kind of play off of what they did with the footage. And I just find it booked to where let me say this first. I want AEW to do well. You know what I mean? We have friends over at... Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. We have friends over at AEW. We got people who came from our school over at AEW.
Yeah.
I want them to do well. I want that company to be around so guys can get jobs. I mean, the things that everybody says, but I mean them. It's true. I wish that it's healthy and happy and thriving.
Yeah.
But
I do too.
I feel like they continue to step in it week after week. Something happens to where it's like, what are y'all doing, man? You're losing sight of what this thing's about. And I know some people like the Tony Khan angle, but those people I question because it was awful. I didn't like anything about it. I felt like Kendrick Lamar talking about Drake. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress. I didn't like anything about it.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was a bunch of guys playing around.
Well,
It looked like a high school production.
Well, I mean,
of a play.
Well, we've seen those guys do that move before, and it seemed like they did it in slow motion.
They did it as safely as they could.
It seemed like Tony Khan's head was about a foot off the ground when he actually did it.
Yeah.
He actually paused before he actually put him down, in which I understand taking care of the ball.
They want to take care of him.
Yeah, I mean, that
he's not
part
trained.
Right there, I get that. But if you got to do it like that, why do it at all? I don't know. Everybody knew Jack Perry was wrapping up in New Japan, and then for him to come back, and then I don't know. I don't know what you get out of doing an angle like that. And the one thing I really don't agree with is once the boss start getting involved in the angle and become a personality on the show, a character on the show, you're already the boss, and now you're a character as the boss on television as well. It's really hard to oversee what's really, really going on. And from what we've heard, Tony Khan has every job.
He's got it all, man.
At AEW.
He's got it all, man.
As far as writing, as far as creative, as far as booking, that right there is, and then now.
Being on the show.
Exactly. It always is a recipe for disaster in this business. And just about every promoter that have put themselves in that position have ruined it for everybody on the show. And I say that having a show, Reality of Wrestling, myself, and of course I'm on the show sometimes, but I try my best to be off the show as much as I possibly can.
And to your defense, most of the time if you're on the show, it's because of something that myself or a director or somebody pushed you to do. Like, hey, we could really use you here. You know what I mean? It's not like you're writing yourself in.
yeah, exactly. And it's good to have overseers. It's good to have, other people's eyes on the product and what we're trying to do in order to how we can make it stronger. But I don't think you put me in a situation like Tony Khan just went through.
No.
I don't know. Tony Khan made some statements about the company that I work for, which I really take offense to, because when you say stuff like what Tony Khan said, it's kind of like a blanket statement on everybody. And I've worked for that company for more than 20 years, and I really take offense to a lot of things what has been said by Tony Khan about the company. I don't really want to get off into it here on the radio or on the podcast or anything like that. But rest assured, if I see him in person, I like saying stuff to people in person and saying, hey man, I really don't feel a certain way. So I'll leave it at that.
You'll have a conversation.
Yeah, I have a conversation.
Well, what I will say this just about the latter portion, and you're referring to the comments he made during the NFL draft coverage on the NFL Network, and we won't have to repeat what he said, but to me, it was a misstep on his part because you have this valuable airtime. So many people are watching you right now that have never seen you before, never heard you talk before, and they're giving you time during the NFL draft coverage, which is like big business. They're giving you time to put over your wrestling show. So why don't you focus on your wrestling show?
Well, I think they gave him time to put over his wrestling show.
They're asking about the angle. He had the neck brace on.
Yeah, but they had to ask him about that.
Right.
But I really.
So why use that time to dog somebody else when you can put yourself over?
But that's the time when you can really show how astute you really are and what kind of businessman you really are by talking about what was really going on, and that was the NFL draft, and how good they did or how bad they did in the draft. To be able to circle back, pivot to what's going on in AEW and talk about the angle and create a buzz around the company. Oh yes, you do that as well. But there again, it's a way to be able to cover all bases and really make yourself look a certain way opposed to the way he made himself look.
Which was a fool. In my opinion.
Exactly.
You didn't say it. Hey, writers, I said it. And the thing is, it's just, I mean, you got to call it like it is, in my opinion. And it was just a foolish decision, especially coming from a guy who always talks about the divisions in wrestling and the tribalism. If anything, he's the main proprietor and proponent of a lot of the tribalism that's in wrestling.
And the thing is, where's it coming from? Because I don't see any of this coming from the other side.
No.
This is one side of the fair.
Well, you don't punch down.
Yeah, exactly my point. But I'm just saying, where is it coming from? Where's the disdain coming from? Where's the hate coming from to be able to make a statement like that? Where is it coming from?
Yeah. I mean, you got to question that.
Yeah, you got to question that.
Yeah.
I think there again, he has a product, and I really thought he'd be focused on, but I don't give a damn about it right now. So whatever.
I'm rooting for my people over there.
I'm rooting for my guys. You know
my guys over there, our guys.
I'm rooting for my guys.
Guys and girls.
Yeah. But anything other than that, I'm with the home team. You know what I mean? And,
well, and you know what? To Tony's credit, in some respect, he did say one time, you can say whatever you want. You remember when he said that? He's like, Booker T's earned to say the right to say whatever he wants about anything.
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here still and down him and say anything.
Right.
Just
to say
derogatory or anything, because I don't know him well enough to speak on him from that perspective. I really don't. I just know what I've heard, and most of what I've heard has come from him. So as far as that goes, is here nor there.
Well, BT, we're still here at IAH, but in spirit, we're at the New York Hotel and Casino. We're live from the MGM Grand doing the radio show at Radio Row, and you know what? We're looking forward to Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez doing battle at the T-Mobile Arena Saturday on pay-per-view. You can get it on Amazon Prime if you want to watch this fight with us. And we're going to be there in the stands, hopefully seeing this thing live in living color.
That's right. Look here. Like my man once said, Mean Gene Oakland, don't miss out. Don't get shut out. It's going down at T-Mobile Arena. Guys, we got to get up out of here. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. I want to thank my man Brad Gilmore, as always, for, the heavy lifting. But right now, we got to get out of here. And like I always say, peace. We love you.